Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Of course, we're starting off as per usual with a morning iced coffee. I have my lovely assistant Suki joining us for today's video. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with my social media, then you're probably aware that for about the last month and a half, all of my time has been tied up into my yarn dyeing business, which has been so much fun. I recently launched a Spirited Away collection, but needless to say, it has been very consuming. And I feel like I need a little bit of a break from the business aspect of things, and I just want to have fun. I want to get back into some old hobbies. In a few of my more recent YouTube videos, you've probably seen me tufting these really fun corner rugs. Tufting is a hobby that I kind of picked up, I'd say about 2 years ago. This is actually my first project that I've ever tufted, and from the minute that I started tufting, I really fell in love with it. It's a way that I can still play around with fiber and fiber arts, but then you end up with such a completely different medium or like a different outcome, such as wall art. Now, not everything has to be put on the wall as I just showed. I love making little corner rugs. Recently, I've also been kind of getting into like carving out my pieces just to make them look a little bit more 3D. They have a little bit more dimension to them. My only really big gripe is the fact that when you're working on larger pieces, especially over extended periods of time, the gun can be really heavy, and I've noticed that over the course of a few hours, it really starts to take a toll not only on my hands, but especially my back, my lower back. Everything kind of starts to hurt because it starts to feel like a full body workout in a sense, which is why I'm so excited today to partner with Claw Lab. They've sent over their H1 tufting gun along with a tufting frame, and as you can see, this gun is a lot smaller than the one that you've seen me use in previous videos. And what makes me so excited to use this is the fact that this is only 550 grams, which is about 1.2 pounds. So the fact that this tufting gun is so small and so lightweight, I feel like I can control my movements a lot more easily. I'm not going to get so tired as I'm working on larger pieces. I also really love that with this tufting gun, you'll notice a lot of these mechanical moving parts are very neatly kept inside of the body. With the other models, there's so many moving parts, so many pieces that I'm always worried are gonna get snagged, cords hanging out. It's just a little sketchy, so the fact that this seems a lot more neatly kept makes this such a user-friendly tufting gun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and set up the tufting frame and then jump right on into the first project. So for my first project, I had this really fun idea of tufting my logo. If you haven't seen it before, I'll leave it here on screen. Instead of tufting the entire wordage, because I feel like that's gonna be, it's a little bit much to get started, I wanted to simplify it to just my swirly logo. So I kind of cropped everything out. So I thought it'd be really fun to tuft the swirl logo and just use like 2 different colors, keep it really simple. And to make this a lot easier on myself, they've also sent over this Arzen zip projector. I mean, I've never seen a projector that looks this tiny. Usually the projectors I see online are like big, clunky machines, but this thing, it's like a little foldable, compact projector. It kind of turns into a little Z shape, and you can prop this up in any which way you want. So depending on where you want to set up your projector, you can angle it upwards, you can angle it downwards. So I felt like this was going to be a really fun accessory to use, not only for tufting, but also like in my off hours. If I just want to pack this up, bring it to a friend's house, project a movie on their wall. But back to the original plan, I want to use the Arzen zip projector to project my logo, flip it, mirror it onto the canvas, and then it'll be way easier for me to trace it perfectly instead of trying to like freehand my own design. All right, I just heard it turn on, which means it's up and running. Look at that. Go ahead and project this up onto the screen. And the grand reveal, that looks so good. Okay, I think that looks good. We're gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna use my Sharpie and trace my logo onto the cloth. Oh, this is gonna look so good. Gone ahead and threaded 2 strands of the pink color through the tip of the needle, And honestly, I think it's ready to get going. All I have left to do is turn it on. I think I should do a couple test runs off here on the side just so that I can get a better feel for how fast this is gonna go, what the gun actually feels like. I'm gonna go ahead and change the knob on the back. You can see how it's like illuminated. I'm gonna slow it down, so I'm gonna turn it to the left. Stop. That felt so good. All right, we're gonna go a little faster. I'm actually already impressed with how even it stitches. Like, I'm just noticing right off of the bat, it's very uniform, it's very even. Let's go ahead and try another. Like, I know I barely just got started, but I really need you guys to admire how even the stitch work is. A lot of times with the other models that I've used, it's not very even. It can be kind of bumpy, a little chaotic. So just based off of how these first few stitches went, this looks to be very promising. All right, enough of the chit chat. Let's start on the actual swirl. Sometimes I forget that the number one trick is to always make sure that the needle is pushed in and you keep a nice even tension on the fabric itself. If you kind of like let up a little bit, it will start to jab at the fabric, and that's definitely not what we want. So I need to make sure that I'm always keeping pressure on the fabric. Oh, this is crazy. All right, so far so good. We literally only have a few lines, but this feels really nice. It's so lightweight. Wow, I really like this. Okay, we're off to such a good start. A few days off from working on this, but as you can see, I'm almost done with this piece. All I really have left to do is to fill in the rest of the green, and then from there I can cut it down, place the backing on, and then probably one of my favorite steps now is to spend some time shaving it down and carving out all of the pink squiggly lines. So I'm just going to finish up the little bit that I have left. So I have my tufting gun and case right here. I love just how compact and small this is. Like, it folds away and packs away so efficiently. I'm just gonna get out my tufting gun, my wires, and then re-thread through my green yarn, and let's go ahead and finish this up. I would do a quick project update so far on my tufted piece. As you can tell, it's almost completely finished up. I did spend the other day attaching this carpet backing onto the back side of my piece so that it's not going to slip and slide, especially if I want to use it like here on my wood. As it is right now, I think it looks really good. I'm glad that I stuck with just the 2 color options. At this point, I really only have 2 more basic steps left to complete up this project. The first thing that I want to do is to use my electric shaver right here to help me shave down the entire piece. I just want to make sure that everything lies really flat and there's no like inconsistencies with the level of the yarn. And then step number 2 is I'm going to bring you guys in really close and I kind of want to show you guys my newfound carving technique. I just really like how tufted pieces look when people take the time to carve out all of the little twists and turns in the colors, and I personally think that it just adds this extra level of like texture to your project, and it's really going to make this piece stand out even more. So step number 1, let's shave it down and then we can jump into carving. Alright, now that we've shaved it down to the best of our abilities, we can go ahead and move into carving out the piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop off the little shaving guard because I really just want to be carving with the bare blade. So this is kind of what it should look like. Now before I actually go into it, I kind of want to show you my technique and what I've learned. So what I like to do is focus on the color that I want to carve first. So for example, I'll look here at this pink color and this line right here. And what I want to do is push the yarn away from me. So we're kind of like extending that pink yarn over onto the green yarn. And then from there, I'm gonna insert the blade right in between the green and the pink. But instead of keeping my blade perfectly like perpendicular, I do wanna add just a little bit of an angle to it, not too much because we're really gonna like carve out too much of it. So again, I just like to insert the blade right in between the 2 colors and then give it just a little bit of an angle. So you can see it's kind of like on a 45 degree, maybe like a 25 degree, something like that. And then from there, I'm just gonna start carving out as slowly as I can. And all I can really say is that practice does make perfect. I will probably mess it up a little bit on this one, but let's just get into it and you guys can kind of get a better feel for how to do it. Insert, and then just start turning. And just work in little sections at a time. You don't want to go too fast. This process in itself is going to take me quite a while. I'll probably be here for at least an hour, so slow and steady wins the race. I just finished carving out all of my pink lines, so hopefully you can kind of see a little bit more of that distinction. Like it just looks a little bit more crisp and defined. I'm just gonna brush out all of my loose fibers because it makes it kind of hard to see. So now that I finished carving out the pink, I'm gonna follow the same process and then carve out the green. So this is that first line right here that we initially pulled on the pink. Now for the green, we're gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna focus on my green yarn and push it over and on top of the pink as much as possible. And then once more, I will insert the razor blade, the shears right in between the pink and the green, and carve out now the green. So we're kind of having two different directions that it's being carved in. It's almost creating a little bit of a valley, if you will. So all of the shaving and trimming took me a little bit longer than I was first expecting, but I did finally get the rug finished up. I'm really proud of this one. I think it looks so clean and crisp. Let me go ahead and show you guys up close just all of the detail. Oh my gosh, I think it looks so clean. I will say again here, there's like a few spots where I overshaved like a little bit too much, or I was over carving, but for the most part, you know, with a little bit of distance, you really can't see any hiccups. Now my next step is to find a spot here in the home that I could either place this on the floor or kind of like that one, stick it up on the wall. It's just so vibrant, it's very loud. And for those of you who wanted to check out Claw Lab, they are going to give us a 10% off discount code. If you click the link down below in the description, the discount code should be automatically applied. You will get 10% off your entire purchase. Y'all, when I say that this tufting gun is unlike the other one that I've used in the past, like I genuinely can never see myself going back to using the other gun. It's just so much more lightweight. It's really efficient. Not to mention, I think my all-time favorite thing with this Claw Lab tufting gun is the fact that all of the stitches were so tightly packed and all of the stitches were very, very uniform. That's definitely a problem that I've had with previous machines where I kind of don't know what to expect. Sometimes I can pull a really clean, even line, and then other times it's very bumpy and loopy, and overall it does make it a lot harder to finish the piece as you're like gluing it and trying to finish up the tail end of the project. So the fact that this tufting gun was just so precise, I literally had no hiccups, no issues. Honestly, I think Claw Lab is going to change the tufting game with their machine. It just makes it so easy for any beginner or novice to jump into tufting without having to be like an expert at any of the specifics or the details of tufting. Like, it just makes it so much easier to start and fall in love with the craft, and then over time you can hone your skills even more. So yeah, I had a lot of fun working with Claw Lab on this video. So much fun tufting this piece, and hopefully in the coming weeks or months I can start working on some even more large scale projects, just because this tufting frame as well, the way that they've made it has allowed you to like move your fabric down so your rug is still attached to the machine and you can just add on more and more length, which is really fantastic. We're definitely gonna have to play around a little bit more with the frame and the machine and see what other kind of pieces we can create. And other than that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.